Somebody asked me on the internet the other day why you would fit a Ptfe piston sleeve. Well, this is an ideal demonstration really, because I'm using a VMAX spring that's should be destined for a HW97, and it's actually going into an HW80. The HW80 has got that 30mm cylinder, so the 97's smaller, and if you look at that there, you can see that there's a great big gap between the spring and the inside of the piston, and that's even with the standard steel piston liner in it. There's still like a big old gap. Now normally when you buy Ptfe sheet, this stuff, it comes in like 0.25 of a millimetre or 0.5 of a millimetre, but I've sent off on eBay and that's 1mm thick, and I've started making Ptfe piston liner. This is attempt number 1, but it's a little bit short for my taste, so I've started making this other one, and I thought before I finished it I'd just make a bit of a video. I've cut it round so that it fits inside the cylinder, like so. Yeah, still there's just the tiniest gaps. Okay, and then what you do is you bend, make a lot of triangle shapes on the top edge. That's for it to, so that when they bend over, it fits actually on top of the top hat, and the pressure of the spring holds everything in place. So what we'll do is we'll just push that in a little way, insert the spring, shove that down as far as it will go, put the spring in, there we go. You can see there's this much left out. Now because I've left it proud like that, it means I can just grab that little bit and trim off some more. Okay. Now the beauty of Ptfe is you can trim it quite easily with scissors. Even at 1mm thick it cuts quite well. So I'll trim off that bottom edge and give it another try. Oops. Shove it in. There, give it a start. Let the piston do the spring do the work. Yeah, and there we go. One piston liner nicely sorted out. Okay, movement cut down, and that should reduce any twanging noise that previously would have been there. So there we go. Once lubing up now, then we can start the assembly. Start thinking about the axis bolt. So make a little bit of space. We've got our spacer washers. A little bit of lube to try and stick that in place. Like so. And then try and feed the two things together. A little bit of fiddling. Okay, once you manage to get that through, make sure you get your spring washer on, and then we can start tightening it up. So the bolt just screwing into that other side. So another spring washer on the other side, and then we go. Barrel, axis bolt, reattached. Okay, now I've seen some other videos where people actually oil the inside of the compression chamber, and I don't want that, because oiling that section means dieseling, so I want it nice and clean. So just wipe off anything that I can find in there. A little bit more in there. If we can. There we go. I'm trying to end up with a nice oil-free area. Now the reason for that, the reason I want it oil-free, is because I don't want any oil up that front end to cause any dieseling. So now we get on to the lube of the spring and piston assembly. I'm going to use some of this moly paste. So let's pull the thing apart. I like to use a brush just to get at it, because it allows you to get into the little bits and bobs of the spring. With a reasonable coating. Okay, now that's all nicely spread out around there. Put that back in there. The Ptfe piston line is already in there and fitted, or fitted nicely. What I'm also going to do is I'm going to just give it a wipe around the dowel ring. Like so. And then last but not least, just the tiniest wipe of liquid moly around the back edge of the seal. None on the front. And there we go. So, one lubed up piston. The spring assembly and the piston back into the gun. Okay, so that's all fitted in. Next stage, let's just clean up a little bit of lube out of the way. Okay, first shots, cocked nicely. Works nicely. Feels nice. I suspect it's still a bit hot. We'll try it over the chrono. Yeah, feels good.